Hey everybody, welcome back to Workers and Resources. I don't really have a whole lot to show you at the beginning of this video because I'm kind of waiting for things to get constructed so that I can move on to bigger and better things. But I really do need to focus on getting oil added to our supply, right? Like we need more oil. And so I'm over here right now trying to flatten this area so I can get a pump jack in here. It takes forever to do. We're up and running with this pump jack, but there's no power to it yet. Pipe is running all the way through here. This pump jack is done too, and the underground pipe is coming along. This one here is running all the way over to this pump. So we're getting pretty close here. Looks like this one's gonna be getting done soon. This one here's 85% done. We're just waiting on the mechanical components. So we're almost set up, I guess. It's taking a while, but almost set up to the point where we can get extra pump jacks added to our supply, and that's gonna be really helpful, I think. But as you know, there is a place right over here in the mountains that gets it too. And it just takes a long time to actually get this to be flattened, especially with this rock and everything there. But we can get a 73% source in here if I want to. I was kind of hoping to maybe move this way just a little bit more, just to see if it's possible to get maybe 74%. But and also if I can move this way just a little bit more, it means that I take away less of the supply from the other pump jacks because we're kind of overlapping a bit, and I'd like to get more of it if I could. So it's just a process of slowly holding down the left mouse button on a building and having these guys, you know, flattening the ground here. And if I keep going this direction and I notice that the percentage is dropping like I just did, then I can probably, you know, confidently say, okay, look, going that direction is not helping me, and I can try to go this way instead. The problem with this is like I can already place it, as you can see, 73%. But as soon as I place this down, unless I've done enough work here now, which I don't think I have yet. Ooh, maybe I have. Oh, I have. Good. I was having a hard time getting the road out of there. And so I needed to flatten the terrain a little bit more in addition to what the pump jack I was placing. I need to flatten it even more so that I could get a road in here. And now it looks like it's going to let me do the old hold down the mouse button on the road trick that we had at the very beginning of this series. And I've been using it a lot to make paths and stuff that I can then connect to roads, right? And now it's going to say it's too steep, and it does this. I have to kind of reassess it and then hold it down again. I went ahead and put in a high voltage switch here instead. So just temporarily my steel was shut down, but I had them rush order this. And we now have the high voltage lines connected to a switch, which then takes it over that way. But the reason for that is because these pump jacks need power as well. So I needed to have some way of providing power in this area. And I think the Mazzina power transformer here is going to be the way to do that. So we'll have power kind of lining up over here and just enough to where we can power all these things. I may also turn this into farmland later, and we'll need power presented for, you know, the buildings, the logistics buildings and things like that. I might do some farming over here and just have that be a local supply that sends to, you know, maybe we make some fabric over here to ship on boats or something. It's going to be something that's not really critical to the rest of our supply chain, but mostly something that we're manufacturing to get more dollars. Because I don't know how many videos it's going to be, maybe 30 videos at this point. But I am going to set up a city over there, and we're going to be primarily using dollars and Western vehicles and things like that, as well as Western architecture. I think there's a way to select these buildings, and maybe that's actually, you know what? I'm thinking of City Skylines. Never mind. City Skylines has a way of placing either American-style architecture or European-style architecture, and that's what I was thinking of just now because I just got done playing that. So, yeah, anyway, ignore that last part. But when we do vehicles, though, we do have American, Western sort of vehicles and stuff. We're going to be pulling them from over there. So, anyway, I'm just kind of waiting for things to build. It's the winter, 1998 winter, and, you know, we're cruising along just fine. All right, so I got the road. It's coming down right through here, and we need to get the pipe routed to it too. So I still have a lot of stuff going on in the background here, a lot of things building. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the above ground pipe. Now, I don't know if there's a whole lot of clearance. Nope, it's going to work. Cool. We're going to place this down right about here, and then we're going to keep this kind of rounded down near the road here, and I can actually make it go lower because why not? So it's going to kind of go down about here to ground level or so. It gets really nice and low here. There's really no reason to go underground because there's no way I'm going to use a road that's you know, gonna go, like, there's no reason to have a road go here. We can always come off of this road to go that way anyway. So we're gonna have this wrap all the way around, and it's cheaper to go above ground, work days wise. It's faster, I guess I should say, to go above ground than it is to go below. So we'll go about like that, and then what we're gonna do is we'll go right about here or so. Seems fine. We're gonna switch to underground now, and then we can wrap over and just pop it in right there. So this routes oil directly to that pump, and everything just works out perfectly, spaced out just as we like. Obviously there's 2 separate projects here, so we'll go high priority there, and I'm gonna leave this. Actually, let's leave this medium. We don't need this one hooked up right away. The other ones are really important. We just need to get the other ones running. So the electrical is all placed through here. We've got a substation right there and a substation over here, along with just the basic wires that are connected to it from the now completed transformer that's right there. And we also have another substation here, and then this stuff here with this medium voltage connection there, that's coming from this transformer, which is actually going to be provided power from all of these wind turbines. So at the moment, all these turbines can just reach all this stuff anyway, so it's not really a super critical thing that we get all that online as far as power goes. But eventually what I'd like to do is connect all these turbines up into that transformer, which is the reason why it's built there, and send the power to this one, and then this one can then distribute some of this wind power over here, right? And so we use that to make it happen. At least what I'm hoping to do anyways, make that happen like that. And then if there's any spare power left over, we could also bring a substation like over here, because having more people living along the water over here is a possibility. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. Charlevans East is going to have maybe some people living over here, possibly. Yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to upgrade you or update you guys on what's going on. We're at almost 23 million rubles, and still trying to get all the oil hooked up. So I'll just keep it running, and we'll see you in a second. All right, the winter is ending, and just a real quick sort of update on the progress here. It's February 22nd, and this thing just completed, this underground pump. And so now the only bottleneck I believe we have in getting this oil into the oil refinery at this point is going to be this pipe. And so we have a lot of trucks here that are going in and delivering the resources that this pipe has been needing. And this is kind of like the only construction project now. So I think all these trucks are kind of bringing everything in. And then the workers are also coming in too. I don't know if the workers are actually getting here. It's a pretty far distance. And I've connected the dirt roads and stuff right here. But I feel like we need to have, you know, gravel-based infrastructure, if you will, in this little area. And so I think I want to start making these roads gravel just to kind of get a little bit more progress from there. Maybe from here we can go like from there is gravel and then work it out all the way to here. So a little bit more permanence on this road. And then once these are done, we can make this gravel too, or maybe just not have this at all because it's an intersection for trains, so we can have them cross here instead. I don't know if this is going to be more busy than the intersection, but I'm not sure it's really going to matter much. But I'd like to get some of this stuff done here too. And then, of course, we can build in here later, maybe even get more wind turbines going through here, like a big wind farm potentially here too, in addition to like farming crops or whatever. But I just want to be able to get fire departments and maintenance workers and things like that out this way. And we are going to need maintenance workers here. So we're going to need people living here so that they can go over to like repair centers. We can have a construction office actually out this way that would help us maintain some of these buildings. I think that'd be a good idea. Why don't we go ahead and build that actually? Let's say a 12 vehicle construction office. And kind of want to stay away from this because I'm not quite done with this. Although we could redo that now. You know, remember how we're gonna tear this road out and make it to where this here meets up with this here, but does so over here on this side, and then this road will then meet with this one, right? So we're kind of gonna cross this to where the U from this point go there, and that's gonna provide me with enough room to get past this with the road. At least I think that's the way it's gonna be right there. Yep. So we need to get that done too, and I think I might just go ahead and have that laid in as well. We can go ahead and do something like this. I think up to here was okay. Something like this right here. And then from that point, we tear this road down And we have a bypass right here, but I can put another one in just in case. We can put like I thought I could right here. Yeah, just a little road right. All right, now what are you doing? Can I have? Yeah, almost. Come on now. All right, well, you can see what I'm here. F4. What am I doing here? Here we go. Something like, well, I thought we could do something like that, but apparently it's not working, but you get the point. All right, we're going to have a road. There we go. That bypasses this so that I can have this road here built as well as part of the highway system that takes people out this way. And then with that done, we can destroy from here to here. And then this will go out and over like that. And this one will go over and merge there. And then we have everything on the right side of the road. And then it becomes a matter of just paving that. And then we have this big interstate sort of thing here. And then, people can live here. People can live here. People can live, kind of wherever, just as long as they can reach their destination. So a little bit of Zernovsky in this area in the sense that we have like a couple of smaller town little things here on these sides. And then they'll have like little local grocery stores and stuff. And then the distribution office will be able to grab things from like regional storage areas, which will be over in this area here, all managed by different distribution offices. Most of the stuff that's delivering steel and everything over here, those connections are going to get eliminated from this one and given to this one so that the trains originate near their supply. So all of the whole area here that's getting electronics given to them, electrical components, all that stuff, steel, it all gets delivered from this point. So we originate with these trains. And then vehicles are going to be dedicated trains. We're not going to manage vehicles with the distribution office. We're going to manage vehicles with a custom generated train or a custom routed train that's going to park itself here and then move itself over to deliver vehicles. I think probably right about here we'll have a delivery for vehicles if possible. We can have this route here maybe continue on that direction, or we could put it right over here, and then from this point here maybe they cut in this way, and when we go to electric we don't need this anymore, but we could still use that track to maybe get them to come this way and drop off the trains, drop off the vehicles, sorry, right here. And then we have car dealerships and stuff that will receive them. I was planning on putting one over in this area. I don't really know where. Maybe a car dealership will be like right here. That's a pretty good spot actually, because then so many people can just keep rushing to that, and then we'll just need to deliver cars to that. And honestly, if there's going to be a car dealership here, we probably want a direct train to deliver, so that maybe that's not the best spot for one. But it's like a slow rollout of cars is fine too. Like I don't need them to be constantly in supply. We can slowly roll them out over time. If people don't have a car, they have plenty of stops. They can go to the bus stops, and oh my god. Okay. We clearly don't have enough buses. That is a lot more people than I anticipated being here. Did I open one of these up? I sure did. Oh, goodness. Oh, and you got done finished too, didn't you? Oh, well, that's why. I guess these are open for business now. Okay. I mean, it's a thing. We need to get more of these. A lot more of these. Yeah. So many more of these. And then open up the other bus stop too. So I'm thinking, come over to here. Yes, we have more buses. Excellent. We will be copying this route. Where are you going? Refinery? That's pretty good. I kind of think I would want you to go to the other stop though. Where's the other route that takes them to the manufacturing line instead? This one here. I think I'd rather have this one here. There's only 2 buses for this, so we're gonna have this route grab another 2 buses as well. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then you go, and then you. Nope, not you. You. I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing? You are selling bitumen. We don't really need anybody doing that anymore, to be honest. You can just go right back into this. That's fine. We don't need that anymore because we got the pipeline now. So if we ever fill up on bitumen, we're automatically sending it to the pipeline. And we're not going to fill up on bitumen yet. Fire department, you getting on scene? All right, just making sure you're good. Get me worried there for a second. I saw a fire and no trucks. All right, so yeah, a lot of people are unemployed here. I think a 5% unemployment. We're looking at 1,000 people saying they don't have a workplace. It's So that's probably leading to people leaving. If I looked at my statistics, I'll probably have some people leaving as well for like last month and everything. Where is only 48 escapes? It's not bad. I actually anticipated a lot more. 145 escapes total this year. And look at the population growth, man. We're getting freaking awesome on population growth here too. So very nice to see. I definitely enjoy that. How much foreign labor am I using? Remember, the helicopters are going to the border for foreign labor. We're using about 100K per month, it seems. Building out our oil pipelines. About 100K per month, yeah. I've been buying vehicles as well, looks like. So scrapyard and stuff, been doing things. Probably have several vehicles in the scrapyard. Sure do. Ooh, big container trucks for garbage trucks and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. What's going on here? Machines replacements. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be necessary. 58%. How are we doing? Okay, I mean, as long as it's not overflowing here, we're good. We need to get this replaced before that happens, but otherwise we're fine. Plenty of chemicals there for storage, ready to rock. Do we need electrical components to be in here? I don't think so. Not anymore. I'm not sure what the practical reason would be to have electrical components here. Certainly not mechanical components. Because we have... Well, I mean, I guess I am using this as a resource for these guys. So I think that's why. It's like a drop-off location for these guys. But didn't... I think I gave a different one. Was right here, right? Not for that stuff. Yeah, all right. I'm still using this as a drop-off location, I think. And then the trucks are coming in and grabbing it. So I'll leave it there where it is. How's my traffic right there? Okay, fine. Cool. Awesome. I wanted to talk about the road layout that's going to be in Charlemagne's North, but I don't think I'm going to get to that today. And I also think I probably need to take this road back just a little bit because I don't know if it's really lined up the way I'd like it to be lined up. I actually think I want to also bring the train tracks, either to bring the train tracks over or the highway under it. And since this is connecting here, it's probably going to be the train tracks over it, because that seems to be probably the most convenient to do. It's also a low traffic train area aside from the fuel train, so this might be the time to do that. And then obviously this is going to be a bridge as well. And yeah, so I think I want to do that just so that the traffic's not disrupted here. But this roundabout should connect to this roundabout over here. And I think I didn't really line this up quite as good as I could have. So the roads are going to end up being slanted like this. It'll end up being kind of a squarish grid here with the exterior highways like this being sort of not quite along the same parallel, if you know what I mean. We probably should also get this to be the right direction just so it looks cool. I don't know if I like how that bows. I really wish that would have been smoother, but it needed to go out. So, I mean, it's still kind of doing what I need it to do. It needs to be really wide from each other so I can get doing what I need to do there, but it's still, I feel like it could have done that a little bit smoother. Oh, well. Okay, there's that. And then this is a roundabout, so we'll just make sure that this is all connected as well. There we go. And then this road is not done yet. We could maybe lay some asphalt through here and get this going. Since these guys have really nothing to do, I think that's probably a good thing to do. So why don't we start working on asphalt roads here, and over here, all the way out to the roundabout here, and then we can work on just paving the roundabout too. Let's just have the whole roundabout paved. Why not? Let's just have the whole thing done. I don't know about this road. This road should be gravel, but I don't want to disrupt it right now. In fact, I need to provide a bypass now, don't I? Yeah, I stopped it from being able to connect there. Let's go. Well, we can connect here, I guess. It's not as good as connecting here. So we'll just come down from this road from here to there, and then that will allow them to get around on this road to go. Okay. What else? Is this done yet? Come on. Pipe. Need to get a 95% done. Still waiting on 27 tons of steel. We're probably out of steel. We've been using so much of it. So much like oil pipes and everything, they take so much steel. So we are pretty much out of steel. We have just a little bit left. I think we could probably cool it on the mechanical components for a little while. I'm only down to 35 workers in here though, so I kind of already am cooling it on that. And then we're also seeing pretty consistently it's flowing into here. And I'd like it to not do that if possible. So I'm going to go ahead real quick and just kind of do this real fast. And that will force the steel to go into locations where it can be used for other purposes, specifically the helicopters and also here for the trucks. And then right here also is for the train as well. So as the train comes in, it will pull steel out of the factory directly, as well as this one. And then that ships it over here where our construction crews can use it. It's probably a good idea, though, to get a construction crew working on like a town or something right over here so that we can start getting repairs a little bit more reliably, because a lot of these things are getting overdone and I don't want them to start collapsing. This one's here is just not built. Yeah, that stuff's not built yet. But as the stuff starts to get built, we're going to need to manage it a little bit better. And, you know, wear and tear is 45% on that building. Things like that need to be looked at. 51% on this water thing here. The water treatment plant is operating with 71% wear and tear. And it's actually, building maintenance has started, but it just hasn't actually done anything yet. So we're just waiting for work days on that. So I probably should get, you know, a town over here, because work days are like kind of essential. Like workers are essential. I think temporarily, I think I've already done this actually, because otherwise that stuff wouldn't be getting repaired in the first place. You guys are already doing reconstruction. Yeah. So these helicopters have been very busy. They go out and they get foreign labor and they bring it back and they go to all sorts of places, reconstruction sites, etc. So if I cool it on building, oh, is this done? Oh, it's done. It's done. Which means we're getting oil in there, right? Yes, operating without issues. You know what that means? More oil coming in here now. Very good. At least 2 additional pump jacks, which is, I think that's, I don't want to say it's huge, but it's definitely something that's a really good thing to have. It's definitely a good thing. If we can fill this, God, I would love to fill that up. But yeah, that's done now. Very good. And then we can start getting construction on this last one here. Now that all those are set up and running, we just need this one built. And I think I made this low priority, right? So it's already delivered all the steel and everything for this pipe, which is fantastic news. And this one here has 39 tons of steel left to deliver, but everything's delivered for this one. So yeah, we could get that going too, but I think I'm gonna have regular construction crews handle that instead of the helicopters, because they're really expensive. I don't like the helicopters. A train should have brought in fuel over here a little while ago. I believe it did, but now it's empty already. So we're going to need that train to bring fuel over here again. And the train is going to sit here and wait for fuel. So real quick, let me see what we got. 274. We'll swap this to high really quick. We'll start feeding fuel to the train so that it can go do its job. I think actually before you do your job like that, before you do that, why don't you go ahead and grab more oil so that we can process that just a little bit faster. Because my gosh, we just don't have enough. You never have enough. And the really cool part about this process is if we can process more oil, then we'll make more bitumen. Making more bitumen means we make more money, like right away. So I'd really like to fill this up too. And it's probably not going to happen now that I'm making asphalt roads, but I'd really like to be able to do that. This is done now. So we're going to come over and delete that. And then we take the asphalt roads from here and we connect it to this one instead. That's fine. And then you are going to connect to there. Yep, kind of like that. It's just not the smoothest looking highway, but it does the job we need it to do. And then we'll have number 3 come over here and do that one. Office 2, you can do this one. Yeah, 3 takes care of those. And that'll be pretty much it for that part. Once we get this done all the way out to here, we can start to, we'll start to see cars using the asphalt road up to this point and then switching to this road. And so we can start paving this one at a time. And it's kind of the same thing we do with the train tracks. We only electrify one side at a time and let the trains kind of do their thing. So on this side, if I want to electrify the trains here, which is a good idea to do, we have the resources to do it, might as well do it. I want to real quick go in and let's delete this waypoint. Yep. And then let's delete, yeah, I don't think we're going to have the train bring fuel here. I mean, it needs to bring it one more time, but that's over here. That's not this one. Yeah, this is a different one. This one provides for the area, local area. This one drops it off for shipping it out. So those are the two different purposes for those. So I really don't need this even operational yet, and I probably shouldn't have built it, but I wanted the track to work because we're going to be electrifying things. So I want this signal gone, and we'll keep this one, but we're going to go two-way with it. And then this one needs to go away. Yep, and then we need to delete the waypoints. Well, as soon as the train gets out of the way, there we go. Delete the waypoint. Waypoint, that one's connected. Okay, so this little segment here, we'll go ahead and just mark this to be electrified. Yeah, keep the catenaries on the outside. All the way out to like this. There we go. There's an electrified segment there. And then we just take the train construction office and we say, hey, you got 115 workers in here doing nothing right now. Cool. Let's have them do something. And you're going to do that. And so anyone who's heading this direction will now deviate and go use this track. It's fine. In fact, I could just do this entire segment right now because the trains that are going through here, they can go and use this side of the tracks anyway. So I can actually do the entire thing. Let's mark the entire thing to be done. We have multiple trains, have over 100 people working this. I say we just hit it right now and just do the whole thing. So we're going to close down this side of the tracks. We're going to make sure that this is a mixed thing and mixed thing there. We're going to, I guess we're shutting this down too because there's no point in using it. They'll just be using this side instead. So no biggie. It doesn't matter. We can just ignore it actually. Let's get rid of these signals. That signal. And I think we just go straight through all the way to here. The only downside is we won't be able to deliver into here. But like that's the only downside is we can't make deliveries. And we don't really need the deliveries. We have lots of resources here. And the thing that we don't have here is fuel. And that's delivered by this over here anyway. So yeah, I think we're good here. So we'll just get rid of these signals. All the way like that. I think up to this point, right? And then we make this a mixed signal so that they can get in and out of here, no problem. And then all of these little points here we need to delete. We're going to leave the crossing so the trains can do their thing. We need all these trains to get out of the way and to leave the area. Once that's done, we can then start closing it. So make sure all the trains are out of the area. Indeed, they are. And then we just marked this for electrification. I think we can... All right, not that one, I guess. That sucks. Well, that's because there was a signal. There used to be a signal there. That's why. All right, we're specifically targeting this line. That's why I'm drawing instead of highlighting it with a box. Because I want to specifically target certain segments around these. I don't want to have like the crossing done. I don't need that. So I'm just making sure that, you know, if I do this, I don't want the other ones that I don't want to do to be marked. Because once that happens, I can't cancel it very well. It's like you have to delete the whole damn track and it sucks. So I don't want that to be done. So that is done. Good. And you have to be very careful when you're going to electrified train tracks. Because you can't undo. You can't, you know, cancel construction. Okay, well, that's demolish. Right? And so then you'll just end up deleting the entire train track. And you definitely don't want to do that. So, yeah, I'm always going to get comments about like, you know, you can just make a box, right? Yeah, that's why I'm not. Okay, so that's taken care of there. And then we can go over and get the construction office right here to go ahead and electrify all of this stuff. And it can access it whenever. I don't know if this segment here is done or not. I don't remember. Did I do that little bit? No. So that little bit needs done. And then this stuff is already done. So it's up to here is where I did it. Okay. I'm not sure why I did it that way, but it's okay. And then you go that way, already done. Already marked. Yeah. Okay, but you can't actually work the job. Yeah, it's on the other side. So this job can be marked because it can reach it from that side, but we can't get here. But you'll eventually get there. Okay, so all those, we're going to have all this electrified now, and that's going to be really, really nice. So the only thing that'll be left after that point is this little area right here, which is like the busiest section here, and there's no alternative. Well, that's not true. Once this is done, they can technically bypass that, come over through here, and they can get into this. I mean, eventually, I will have to electrify the part of the intersection itself, and that will shut down a lot of traffic. But so far, I think we're good. Yeah, and then they'll just all use this side instead. That's why it's nice to have redundancy. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let it run just a little bit longer so I can get all this stuff built. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we've got everything electrified all the way out to here. This is where we planned for it now, but it's electrified rail. All the catenaries and stuff are in, all the way out to from between there and here. We also have catenaries installed all the way up to I think it's like right around here. So we just need to get this connected to this, and then we'll have an electrified rail connection that runs all the way up to this point, as well as all the way around the steel and to here, and then up to here as well. So we're almost connected in a loop for the electrified trains, which is great. Now, the hardest part about this entire process in electrification is going to be this stretch right here and this stretch right here, because it's the most busy area, and shutting down this has no alternative. There's no other way into this area if I shut this down. So it's going to be kind of like one of the last things we do is getting that in there. But we can't really get electrified trains going with distribution until we have the main station here, the main cargo station hooked up right here. There's another thing I want to do. And over here, we now have fabric going. I just noticed this while I was dinking around with the trains and stuff. This is done now. We only have a maximum of 20 people in here because we don't need a whole lot of fabric, but it's been running a while, and we actually have 57 tons of fabric sitting in here, which is great. And I've also tweaked this. That's why there's so much more crops in here than not. It's because I've retweaked these values recently. So this was full at 56 or whatever it was. I expanded this, and that cut into the crops capacity, cut into the electrical components too. I guess I'll probably go down to maybe 10 right here. We'll go 10, call it good. Okay, so what I want to do is the station over here, this distribution office, sorry, we have you going over to the Zernovsky Rural Development Station, which is this one right here. And this is what's connected to this storage. So what we can do with this is I can say from the Rural Development Station that we want to actually pick up fabric. So now we're going to be loading fabric from here. And over on the main cargo station, which is just this big one right here at the very top, we can now unload fabric here. And in doing that, we trigger automated trains from this office to go get the fabric that's being produced here and to take it elsewhere, which is great. And then all the distribution offices and stuff that have been told to supply all of our mechanics, they are now pulling fabric from this building. There's 2 parking spaces here. They're going to pull fabric from that building. The other thing we're going to do in this building, and I don't have any storage for alcohol, but we're going to start, is because I have a distillery here now. And this distillery creates our own alcohol too. So in addition to having these crops here, we're also going to turn on a little bit of alcohol storage here as well. And we can ship alcohol out of here. All right. So I'm actually fine with the numbers as they are. Maybe we'll go up just a little bit more with crops, but I'm actually fine with maybe just 32 tons of alcohol being stored here. But now the alcohol from this distillery can be pushed this way too. And I'm actually going to change the name of this again. Cernakova Farms. Maybe just change that. Cernakova Farms is nice and all. I'm going to go with like, what should we call this area? This is Zernovsky Farms, so it can't be that. I wish I could just like redraw the regions, the zones. You can't easily do that. You have to click the name. I guess there's probably an easier way to do this than clicking the name, but this is how I always know how to do it. You click the name and you get the square boundaries or whatever for that. And this could go way further. We could really have this Zernovsky Farms going into here, but Cernakova Farms is kind of in the way. So I think the only way to really adjust this is to click Cernakova Farms. Let's go in and make sure that we just copy that name really quick. And what I think I can do is I can just cancel this area and get rid of it. And as long as I make a new area right here, like let's say we make a new area and we put it like right here instead, right? Now this one can go away. And in so doing, we get a new area, but it still covers this. And I don't want it to. So we're going to go in and make a new area right there instead. Get rid of that one. And now we'll see that this area is not covered by that anymore, which means Zernovsky Farms probably got expanded. It did. And this is now going to be, this is now the Zernovsky's distillery. So Zernovsky got bigger as well, which is fine with me. Yeah. And so Zernovsky got bigger. It extended itself all the way up into here. That's really what I wanted to have. So this is the new Sternikova Farms. And unfortunately, that means a lot of these things are going to start being called Sternikova Farms. So it's kind of a hit or miss. Like I really wish I had more control over this without having to just remake areas. I think that would be a lot better to have more fine-tuned control over that. But either way, I'll leave it as Sternikova Farms there for now. And that's going to redo this one because they just keep overlapping each other. But it's fine. I can always rename them anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that we now have alcohol and fabric being produced here. It's a little bit tricky to get people over here into the distillery, and I don't need this many, so I'm going to limit it to like 30 people at most. But, and this is only 20. They basically go to this large parking lot, and then they can walk over here from there. So they're driving to this parking lot to work in these two buildings, right? Everybody who works in these buildings are driving themselves here, right? That's our rural experiment, right? Everybody's driving themselves into here, which is fine. There's also some bus people getting dropped off from the bus too. Oh yeah, right. I forgot about this bus stop. I saw this huge wave of people walking, and I'm like, oh, there's a bus. Yeah, they can get dropped off here and walk to the fabric factory as well. So I guess there's that. They can't get here with the fabric from the bus stop, but I might be able to. I wonder if there's a walking path connection back here. There isn't. And in fact, I have another pickle right here. Good thing we noticed this, because otherwise this thing would have collapsed. We need that to be available for maintenance and stuff. Need that to be a thing. I'm going to have, I think, a walking path that goes... If we make a walking path that goes way out here, then we might be able to do some underground thing to get them in here. This one here needs connected too. Are you getting there? 22%. What are you at? 30%. All right. See, if you have to reconnect the walking paths, otherwise those things will collapse. They have to have access. Now, sometimes I'll go through and just choose mud walking path, right? And I'll just go through and just, I don't know, put my camera over top of everything and just kind of scan areas to see if there are any, oddballs like that. If there are any like little things like this right here that have the symbol. And if I can see the symbol, it means there's nothing connected to them. So then I can go ahead and do that. Because a lot of times I'll have these things done that way, and then I'll redo roads, but I'll forget to put that back. Or it's just the helicopters built it, and once it was done, it was just kind of like, okay, cool, the helicopter did it. And I just kind of forgot about the actual connections with the walking paths. So every once in a while, I'll find myself doing that just to keep and make sure that, that we're all good to go there on stuff like that. But all you need is just one connector, and you're good. All right, so... how is the progress with our oil? We have all this is done, but we still have to get this pipe that's under here done, which is work in progress. This big one up here, and then that. And then it looks like that right there is just work days. And then this right here is just work days. And this one right here still needs the steel, so we're working on that too. But I am going to shift this stuff to a higher priority, I think. Just because it's work days, we can get it done really quickly. And let's go in and just have the helicopters do it, because they can bring workers here really quick. All right, we'll have that be a thing. And then over here, we have access to steel now. It's taken time, but, this is just like the small detail work stuff, right? Oh, we're running out of coal. Well, the train just showed up to give us coal, but we're running out of coal. What's going on there? I don't have a whole lot of people working in the mines. That might have something to do with me expanding the available workers for the steel mill. If I make it to where more people can work here, then they're more likely to work here than there. But It's fine. Everything will kind of work itself out. That's why we have this available. That's why we have the ability to bring coal here via train, is to offset any, you know, shortages we might have in that area there. I would love to get this working, but I'd really want this to be electrified trains. I think we're at the point, I think we're at a point really honestly where we should just put trains in here anyway. And then if we go to electric, we can start recycling them, right? A lot of the trains that are over here are quite old and they're really well maintained, but they're old. And I think that maybe it's not a big deal to have more diesel trains. The one thing that I'm worried about though, is that we won't have the fuel for this, because I don't have really good fuel infrastructure to come out and have fuel over here yet, right? Every once in a while, the train comes out and delivers it, but for the most part, this train, it sits over here in the station and just waits for me to tell it what to do. Where'd it go? See, I don't even know where it is now. So it just waits here, right? Because I have it to drop off the oil and then load fuel, but it's not going to consistently be able to do that until our fuel production exceeds our usage. Our production of fuel must exceed all usage so that this continues to fill. And then once this is continuing to fill, it bleeds over into the next tank. And that's when we can send it here and to the cars and to the train at the same time. That's when we really get benefits of that. Otherwise, I have to keep micromanaging this by doing that. And that shifts the mode to where now we're sending the fuel that we're making into the train, right? I don't want that to be the thing. Also, it looks like they're building these. These are done now. That's pretty cool. I don't think this can be built because it's not hooked up with walking paths yet. No. But it's kind of cool that these are done. I like it. We can put in some additional pathing right here. Just like little bits like that, I guess. It's fine. Whatever. Little tiny things that really don't mean anything. And once that's done, then they can get started building this. And in fact, I probably could just do this. And then now they can build it anyway because it's connected. We can get this one built. We need the water substation done. And then we're not allowing citizens to move in here yet, but we have extra housing right here that they can walk in and get in here and get what they need and, you know, go work over here. And they can work at the store. And then we're going to need to give them cars and a bus stop maybe so that we can move them around. We're going to have more people living right here in this area. And, you know, they'll be helping us with industry as we get them in going here. Primarily, they're going to be using this road, but they'll also be heading with this road over so they can work in the meat area, because the meat industry is the next major industry that we're going to actually set up. And this stupid building just sitting here getting wear and tear all the time just because it finished. I didn't want it to finish, but it finished, and it'll keep doing that. But I'm really happy that we're finally going to be able to get local alcohol supply here, local fabric supply here. It means I don't need to ship alcohol over here anymore. The trucks can bring it from other places. So this train here is bringing, you know, it's a little bit of alcohol, but it's still bringing alcohol. And this is I've had questions about, like, why don't you have shorter trains or longer trains or anything? You see how this train is bringing a mixture of goods, right? It's got 3 boxcars and a refrigerated car, and it was bringing food, meat, alcohol, clothes. I think it had a little electronics there too. It was bringing like 4 or 5 different resources. Well, I'm wrong. It looks like it's just food, meat. No, I think it was actually bringing more stuff than this. I just can't see it. It's like ... right? But anyway, it was bringing more stuff. And that's great. It had chemicals on board too, I think is another thing I saw. And so when it delivers all of these things and it goes back, right, it's using a mixture of cars, and the game is generating these. The distribution office is generating these trains, right? I can do that and send it back home immediately. But the distribution office manages these things, and I don't. So when you see these trains that are like 1 car or 2 cars, like this one right here, right? You see 3 cars on this. I didn't create this train and say, okay, we need 3 cars, right? That's not something I did. The distribution office did that, right? And that's the really cool part about that distribution office. I have been selling food and clothes for a little bit just to get some more money. I'm gonna go ahead and disallow that again so that we don't stretch ourselves super thin. We're at 30 clothes here now, and this train is gonna pick up some plastics. Now, another thing that happens, and I wish wouldn't happen, is that we get trains that will grab plastic and bring them to the industrial yard, but they're only grabbing 1.3 tons. And, you know, they need to wait until there's more built up. They need to wait until we have more plastic, because another train just picked up the plastic and sent it that way. So I don't need them to do this again. But there's 4 cars. You've taken 4 cars, and there's no reason to have 4 cars. You could just have 1 car, right? So that's another thing that happens with the distribution office. There's efficiencies and then there's inefficiencies. And most of the time, I happen to think most of the time, the distribution office is a pretty good, efficient thing to do. It adds convenience by making it to where I don't have to micromanage it. So if it happens to have a couple of times where it, you know, sends 4 cars for 1 ton of cargo, so be it. But I wish it would be a little smarter than that. The last thing I will point out here, and then we're probably going to take off. This is kind of a, I don't want to say uneventful video, but I just feel like I've been playing a long time and I haven't shown you much is really what I feel like right now. I've had comments about like how most of these parking lots are emptied. A lot of these are going to be, you know, we're going to have a lot of cars in here to go here, right? Once we get personal cars. But based on my experience in Zernowski, I don't know if we can actually handle the quantity of cars that are here. I don't think we can actually handle this many cars, right? There's also, apparently, I never connected these. I did the walking paths, and that's probably how they got built, but I never did the roadways. I don't know if we can actually handle this many cars, okay? That is a legitimate concern, because there's a lot of cars here. All of these roads are going to be one-ways. But I think even with that, we're going to get kind of overloaded here, because this is a single road, and this is a single road. And if I can, I would probably have all of these roads be one direction roads, that direction, right? And then if I could go back, I'd love to have this be a 2-way all the way into this roundabout and then out over. The other idea, though, is to make all the roads one direction in that direction. And that way everyone gets pushed out to this main road here and they all go home that way. So that might be the alternative here, is that they have to come in on this road and then turn, and then they come in through here, and then that's how they get in and they get out that way. We might manage that. But what I think I ought to do instead, because again, personal cars are kind of an experiment. What I think I'm going to do instead here, though, is probably get rid of at least, I would say at least 2 of these, maybe 3 parking lots, and put a passenger train station here instead. And I was thinking that passenger train station would be a little deeper in, like maybe in here. And so maybe all 5 of these would go. And then we would have a tunnel that comes off of the main network of train, you know, the train network. And it would come over underneath, come out right here. And then we drop people off here. And that way the train would be able to drop people off for alcohol, for food, for a couple chemical plants, and most importantly for the refinery. And we'd be able to ship people in from all over the place, wherever, as long as they can come in on a train. So anything that's over here even, they'd be able to come in on a train and work in the refinery. We can also then hook up this train station, which has always got lots of people ready to go, and we can hook up a train there that brings them in to the train station as well. I think that's a better fit, because I don't think there's enough viability in personal cars in this area to make this work that way. I think now that there's no parking right there, I'm gonna just go ahead and have that be asphalt. And then when this car moves, I'll probably have this one be redone as well. And since this one's already going like that, we could probably just do that too. So we're gonna get like an asphalt road in here just to allow cars to move through here a little bit evenly, but also because I may need a light here in the future, and I can't put a light here if there's a gravel road. So I'm gonna have them, road crews and stuff working on that and stuff too. So yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're now missing fuel, it says, and that's because we still have it pumping into the train. How much did we get in there? All right, 115 tons. That's not too shabby. I'll go ahead and have you deliver that, and then we switch this back over to high priority on the output 1. So we'll have another 115 tons or whatever delivered over here, and it can now be used from the supply over there. So yeah, I think this is it's been a productive video. If nothing else, you guys probably didn't see a lot of it because it's just been a lot of busy work and letting it run and detail stuff. But when we come back for the next one, I actually, honestly, until we really get the oil and fuel situation under control, I don't want to add anything that takes fuel. So probably what I'll be focusing on over the next year or two in game is electrifying rail and attempting to build additional housing for people who can reach train stations so that we can get more people in here. I need more steel. We're running really light on steel because I just can't seem to get enough people in this area to work it. And then we also have trains constantly bringing coal in here, which is taking up, trains in my distribution office. And that's the problem right now, is that there's too many routes for that distribution office. There's too many things to do for the number of trains and cars that it has. And it's maxed out. I can't add any more. So, we just have that. So if I can take the pressure off of this one and put it over here, it'd be way better, right? So I think maybe that's what I should do. There is this train, but you really want to have trains that are shorter for distribution offices because they have a maximum length. And so if you want to haul more cargo, if there's like a full train, like the coal trains and like the gravel trains, they almost always spawn like at near 155 meters. And so if you're having a really long locomotive, you probably have one less trailer than you could have had in that route, right? So if I'm gonna go ahead and buy one, let's just really quick check what the used market looks like. And we're gonna go with a diesel locomotive. It's just those. That sucks. This train set is only 40%. It's not quite worth breaking down. Now this track builder might be worth it. It's 10 years old, 62%. This might be worth it just for the breakdown. I have to go ahead and see what it's about, but I mean, this is 140 tons. Most of that is steel, and the current price of steel right now is 2,600 per ton. Right, so it's not quite worth it at this price. I do need to wait for that to get a little bit cheaper, but I could buy it to break it down, right? What about? We don't have any tunnel boring machines, do we? That would be in Track Builder, so I know it's not in there. All right, so I guess we're not gonna do anything with the used market, which means we can do it directly from the depot. And if we're gonna grab diesel locomotives, it looks like we have access to all of them again. I don't know why this happened, because I'm not supposed to have access to all of these again, but I don't know how to fix that. Let me know in the comments. How do I fix that, right? Because I have it, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and just buy them. Buy the ones I want, which is the DR Class V, whatever. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with 5 locomotives. It's probably one too many. I maybe should have stuck with 4, but we'll buy those. And then we can't buy the wagons, so we'll have to turn these trains around to go get the wagons. But they're going to come out 2 by 2, or come out 2 at a time here, I guess. And then this office is over by steel. We're going to need a lot of the flat cars for this. So we're going to want cargo wagons, and we're going to want ones that can haul the most steel. This is a 20-meter one. It hauls 79 tons of steel. If I did this one instead, I could do 70 tons of steel, but it's only 15 meters. So I could potentially get an extra car on that, when it spawns the train, right? And that makes it worth it. They're also cheaper. So we can go real quick, just check on the open cars here. No, I think these ones are good. So we can go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go 12 open wagons for this. And I'm not sure what else we'll need in that area to start. It's mostly for transporting steel, but I guess we need to transport electronics, and yeah, we need to transport electronics and stuff too. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 box cars for now. All right, because electronics and electrical components and mechanical components, you don't really need a whole lot of cars to transport those. They tend to come out in lower tonnage and you can fit them all in the car because it takes a while to make them. So I think that'll be okay. And then we'll just have to have the train, like this train right here. We're going to have you set up a route where you go over to the border and grab the cars. You're going to load up the cargo wagons, all of them. It's fine. And then you're going to take those cargo wagons and drop them off over here. All right. Unload right there. And then you come back and do it again. And you just do this over and over again. And then I'm going to have a second train do this too, so we can really get this going quickly. So when another train comes in, like right there, I'm going to have that train have this route as well. So now that it's here, we can have it go ahead and do the exact same thing. And those two trains will go ahead and do that. Now the next thing we can do then from there is these little DR Class V. These things are going to come out and go to... I don't think they're going to actually because of the way this game works. Like I have to manually do this because I bought too many at a time or something. It's like that one will go there now. And there's another one right here. I can actually do this manually by just bringing them all the way over here. Where is it? Right. Like, I'll just have you report directly to that instead. So right there. And then you can go directly to there. So we're going to get some trains delivered here and some cargo. And then we just need fuel brought here, which is the distribution office's job to bring fuel to this. I didn't want to, and I'll probably stop at some point. But that's what we're going to do with the distribution office there. We're going to make sure that this has some fuel in here. And then we can put this to work. We can have it, go here and grab steel and bring it somewhere else. We're also going to have it go here and grab all these resources. And then we can connect things like that right there. And that's going to be a huge help. Just that right there alone is an amazing connection for us. And I don't think there's anything else I really need to do here at the moment. That's my route to deliver steel that way, as well as my route to deliver all the mechanical components and stuff. And it looks to me like we're going to have a lot of forklifts that are breaking down now. Man, how is that going to work? I mean, I'm sure they're going to drive themselves all the way to the damn border. Well, all the way to the scrapyard, right? They're going to have to drive themselves all the way to the scrapyard. And then we probably have more forklifts coming in from the border to replace these now. That's pretty wild, man. That's a really crazy thing to have happen. And you have electrical components and are you stuck on the road? Well, yeah, you are, because you're going to the scrapyard now. With your electrical components? Are you... I don't know if that... Like, do we get those back? Will they show up in the scrapyard inventory? I guess we'll find out. I don't know how that works. He's physically carrying some cargo on him. Like, he's just carrying electrical components around. It's pretty nuts. These guys are going to use main roads and break down all the way to the border. I'm going to have another scrapyard over here, I guess. That's going to suck. Anyway, so you can see we're going to get that set up. And then all we'll do then at that point is we can take the locations away from this. I can say, you don't need to go to steel anymore. And then this just simply never goes over here. Because everything that goes over here, unless it needs delivered there, right? So, like we can keep this one open because the prefab panels, bricks, wood, etc. That stuff all still needs to be here. The coal, the gravel, all that stuff still needs to be brought here. Coal, right? So I guess that stuff will still exist, but it's not going to stop here, for example. It doesn't need to do that. It doesn't need to stop. Well, I guess it will stop here because it's going to bring the plastics and stuff and the chemicals. So I guess there is still routes to come out here. But the point is, it doesn't have to pick anything up from here. It drops off. And so I think that'll alleviate some of the stress on this office and hopefully allow it to do its job better with other places and be able to do things like picking up the fabric from over here and bringing it over here so we can make even more clothes with it. That would be great. Where is it? Because our clothing factory is right over here, right? And this doesn't have a lot of fabric. Yeah, there's not a lot of fabric capacity in here. I think I should up that. a little bit. Let there be more fabric capacity. And then I think, yeah, we need to keep these clothing factories maxed out. But it's kind of looking like we're full, which is cool. So we can make clothes all the time. And we can send them out all the time. Yeah? So we're going to look at doing that too for more money. Because I just spent a boatload of money on trains. All right. I think that's going to do it for me. I know I already went ahead and ended this episode like a long time ago, didn't I? I just get to playing this and I don't want to stop. You know, it's such a fun game. I'm really into it. I kind of like, I'm way more into this than I am like City Skylines, for example, right? That's why we've had a fairly consistent upload schedule with this one, but there's like a big gap with City Skylines because I'm just kind of like into this, you know? I'll get a little tiny thing in my head where I'm like, hey, I want to play Cities, and then I'll play Cities, but you know, I'm not going to end it or anything. It's just really slow because I like this one more. Yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.